Good morning, simulation farmers. Welcome back, my sweet angel babies, my divine conscious creators. Welcome back to another episode of To Be Real. I'm your host, Charm. If you've never been here before, this podcast is all about reclaiming your power and becoming a conscious creator of your reality in order to step into your highest timeline. I know we're about 25 episodes in, but today I finally decided to explain to you guys this whole simulation farmer thing. I don't know why I started calling you guys simulation farmers and then I just never explained it. I was like, yeah, just watch The Midnight Gospel. That's where it's from. And maybe it's like a really, really well-known Netflix series, but maybe it's not. And the short premise of it is that there's this alien, basically. There's a bunch of aliens, or not even aliens. They're natural to their own realm. And there's this guy named Clancy, and he's running away from his life. And he kind of spends his whole life within a virtual reality of his computer, quote unquote, where he's cultivating worlds. Like it's literally called like Earth 325. And he like places his head in this thing that very much looks like, a woman's part. And then he's shot into that realm and he's a podcaster or a space caster. And he goes in and he talks to people and he interviews them. And at the end, he's like, thanks so much for being in my podcast. And he blows his horn and then he's transported back into his physical reality, which personally, I do think is very symbolic of what is actually going on here. But basically, he's a simulation farmer. He's entering these simulations and he's, being given a different vessel every single time. He gets to choose his vessel, how he wants to show up in that realm or in that Earth, that simulated reality. And yeah, to me, that's exactly what we're doing here on Earth. But we are simulation farmers. We get to create our reality. We are conscious creators. And so to live in this world and to understand our power as simulation farmers, as, conscious creators and knowing where to reclaim our power, remembering that we are in this world, but not of this world, to quote the Bible or religious people in general. But yeah, it's so funny because I called you guys that so jokingly simply because I love the way that it started. It's like, good morning, simulation farmer. He listens to a radio station every morning and that's how it starts. It says like, good morning, simulation farmers. This is the power moth keeping you cool in the ribbon and warm in your heart or something like that, which also is so funny because pyro means fire, moth, whatever. Brilliant show. So cute. Please watch it. It explains so many different like spiritual based thoughts of belief and it just explores so much. And each episode is very different. It is like a video podcast and it's just the cutest thing ever. Anyways, long story long, that is why I refer to you guys as my simulation farmers. Anyways, I just needed to explain that because I feel like I just ran with simulation farmers and truly never explained it at all. So yes, that is a whole spiel on simulation farmers. But today's episode is going to be all about imbalance, imbalance, embracing imbalance, changing our perspective on imbalance, because we know that in order to change our reality, we need to change our definitions of the things that we're experiencing. So changing our definition of imbalance, talking about how to get through imbalance when you're, in a state of extreme flux, if that makes sense. But yes, that being said, let's get right into the episode. Okay. First perspective shift. We are debunking the myth of balance, living a balanced life. We love the idea of balance and, everything being equal and work-life balance and, spending time doing your hobbies and cooking and meal prepping and working out and everything has to be in perfect balance. It's not real. We have to let go of that. The natural cycle of life is one of imbalance. However, we have been brainwashed into this idea that this imbalance is somehow wrong, that it's not supposed to be like that, and things are meant to be in perfect balance. That's simply not how anything works. Nothing in life is just perfect balance. It's oscillation, highs, lows, mountains, valleys. It's push and pull. It's depression, compression, and then expansion. That is what balance looks like, having the light and the dark all together, working together. That is true balance, not everything perfect all at once, forever and always. There's like that very cliche saying of like, just like the heart monitor, if you have no highs and lows, then you're dead or something like that. Something like that. But truly, life is made up of highs and lows. And if everything is in perfect stillness, it's because you're dead. Because the only thing that is truly in perfect stillness is a dead body. And even that is not in perfect stillness because it's decaying. So even in death, there is no sense of perfect stillness. So we do have to get rid of this external, understanding of balance good, imbalance bad, balance goal, imbalance, you've done something wrong. Yes, there is unintentional imbalance when you're not doing too great. Things could be a lot better. Things could be closer to alignment. However, that's different than balance. We are seeking inner peace. We are seeking inner alignment, not balance. You can have alignment within imbalance. If you change your definition of imbalance and you accept it as part of the whole, then there's no need to reject it. And when you accept it as part of the whole, you open yourself up to experiencing the fullness of life. And then you get to find what we are truly all seeking, which is peace, inner stillness. We're not looking for external stillness and perfect balance. We're looking to be able to experience that internally through the highs and lows that are inevitable. The highs and lows, the imbalance is not a bug within reality. It's part of the programming. It's just how the cycle of life works. It's yin and yang working together as part of the whole. And when you learn to embrace the bad as the beginning of the good, it requires you changing your definition of that thing being bad so that you can now be in alignment to receiving something better. And so yes, there are times where things are imbalanced and you feel that and you're like, no, this is not how I want to be living. Like, I know it's a part of life, but I would like to get more into alignment to where I'm feeling healthier. I have more energy. I'm spending more time with friends. I'm getting outside. I'm getting up, showering, brushing my teeth. I'm like back in alignment in terms of my health and well-being and how I know my higher self shows up in their life. How I know my dream self, my ideal self shows up in their life. When you're feeling very far from that, the best way to get out of that is to not resist it, rather embrace it. And that's why it's important for us to change our definition in the first place, so that we can embrace it, so that we're not rejecting it, because anything that you reject will persist. You're butting up against it. And when you're wrestling with something, you are quite literally holding on to something. You can't wrestle something without also being attached to it. You're not stuck, you're being sticky, if that makes sense. I forgot where I got that from, I think, but it was so life-changing to me to realize, like, it's not hard for you to shake something. You're not stuck somewhere. Like, things aren't changing because they're not changing. It's like, no. You're the creator of your reality. You're not stuck. You're sticky. You reclaim your power from that situation. And so to wrestle with imbalance is to be sticky to it. It's to basically tell the universe, I want more of this. I'm rejecting it, and therefore all of my focus and attention, even though it's negative focus and attention, even though it's something that I don't want in my life, I'm giving it my negative attention and therefore feeding more of it. And even if it's negative attention, it is attention. Your mind is just kind of like, well, I don't really care if it's good attention or bad attention. I'm just focusing on the fact that you're paying attention, and therefore that must mean that it's very important to us. And if it's very important to us, we're going to make sure that that's all we see, that our tunnel vision is so focused on that thing that you are feeding your attention to so that you don't see anything else. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Our subconscious and our senses are capable of experiencing up to 11 million bits of data all at once. And our conscious mind is only capable of processing 40 to 50 bits of information at one moment. And so you realize that we're living in a very mentally limited way in terms of our capacity to see everything that is in our field. Everything is already there. Whatever it is that you are seeking and desiring, I promise you it's already there. 40 to 50 bits out of 11 million. Trust me, whatever it is that you're looking to manifest, trying to bring into your life, call into your life, it's there. You know that like red string theory or something like that, where it's like all of these different things happened that led you to this perfect place. It's like, yeah, it's because it was all already there. You don't get a magical like way of getting somewhere if you didn't actually know where you were going. Like, think about Gossip Girl. This is something that I have wanted to talk about and have had zero reason to talk about. However, this is the perfect analogy. When Gossip Girl finished, they revealed, and this is a spoiler, but also not really, they revealed that Dan Humphrey was Gossip Girl. And you go back And there's like 10,000 million plot holes as to how and why Dan Humphrey could not have possibly been Gossip Girl. It's just like so ridiculous. And you know why? You know why it's so ridiculous and there's so many fucking plot holes? Because, as they revealed, they didn't even know who Gossip Girl was going to be. And so in the last episode, they're like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then now it's Dan Humphrey. Clearly, I'm very passionate about this. I love Gossip Girl. My point being, you cannot have this red string theory where it's like everything just like lined up. And like, if I hadn't gone here and met up with this person here and they hadn't said this, and it doesn't happen unless the goal, the outcome, the solution, the path to getting there had already been written. Unless it was already there in existence. Like, you may not know how you're going to get there, and it may seem like magical synchronicity and just like whatever to you. However, the universe knows. I forgot where I got this from as well, but there's this saying that says the language of the universe is miracles. To us, it's the miraculous, magical, like, oh my gosh, like I could have never done this. That is like the goo goo gaga basic level of understanding and expression of the universe. Miracles to us happen all the time. Can you make a seed grow? No, you can help it and like give it the right conditions and all that stuff. However, trees and grass and whatever, it just grows. It just grows, and it was here before we were here, and we tend to it and we do whatever with it. But the weeds, you're not technically planting the weeds. They just grow. That's magic. The earth, the ground just produces green things that absorb the sun, and that is their food. And they, the trees release oxygen, and that just happens to be the thing that we need to breathe. And they take the things that we exhale and like the toxins that we exhale, and that to them is like food or energy. I don't really know. I don't remember. I haven't been to school in a very long time. Like, that is magic. Yes, we have the science behind it, but you can't make it happen. So I'm going to call it magic. I'm going to call it, something that is so out of my realm of capacity and ability, because I can't make it happen. It's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. But again, it's a miracle to us because it's not something that with our limited human brain and capacity to even see or perceive, it's something that we ourselves could not have, foreseen. It's something that we could not have planned out. But to the divine, that is not limited by space and time and natural capacity. It has all this power. It has infinite knowledge. It has access to everything and everyone all at once. That's just like the most basic thing. They're like, yeah, it's gonna all come together so magically. Like, obviously, like, I just like showing off. Like, I know it. Like, did you see that? All the little like Easter eggs that I placed along the way. I know. Isn't that so fun? Like, aren't you so excited about the way that I made that happen? The universe is so thrilled to work with us and like do like the things that we consider magic. Like, I'm sure the universe just like literally loves watching us get excited about the things that it orchestrates, that it's like, to it was just kind of the natural maze or path. Like, if you're looking at, a maze from the top, like, you can figure it out, and you can normally figure it out without making any mistakes. And there's a bunch of twists and turns, and there's a bunch of dead ends. But if you were actually in a maze, if you were a rat in a maze, how quickly would you figure it out? Actually, probably very quickly, because if there was like cheese on the other side, like, their ability to smell and stuff like that is incredible. Read Flowers for Algernon. It's literally so cute. Anyways, my point is, if you were actually in a huge maze, I promise you, you would hit a lot more dead ends than you would if you were looking at it from above. And it's like this small thing where you can see the start, see the finish, and you're just like navigating it and processing it with your brain rather than like, turning one corner and be like, oh fuck, like there's a dead end here, and then like having to turn around and then like going forwards again. That is how we navigate through the maze of life. But to the universe, the right path was always there. And it's just a matter of you being open to receive the guidance of the universe to get you back into alignment. And so that's the same thing with being in a state of imbalance and wanting to get back into a state of alignment. It's one, stop rejecting it. It's part of the whole. And two, understand that you can simply set the intention to say, all right, this is not the reality I want to be living in. Let me do my job as a conscious creator and decide this is no longer what I want to experience. This is what I would like to experience instead, and allow yourself to know that is what is going to happen. To know and assume that now, because you have decided that that's what you want, that that's what's going to happen, and that source is going to, just guide you, because the path, the red string has already been, woven into your reality. And trust, when I tell you I accidentally live by the law of assumption, I just assume that everything is happening for a reason, and that now that this has happened, then that means that this is going to happen now, and it happens. Like, I accidentally stole a lip gloss from Target a few days ago. Like, I have ADHD, and so I was really flustered and really stressed, and then I didn't find what I was actually looking for, and I just so happened to have picked up a lip gloss, and so I was like, oh, and I just like put it in my purse. Swear to God, so unintentionally, it was just kind of like something in my hand is like bothering me. I'm like irritated and flustered that I'm not finding what I'm looking for, and so I just put it in my purse. And then hours later, I look into my purse for my other lip gloss, and I was like, oh shit, I literally stole this from Target. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to take it back. I'm going to try it. And I tried it, and I honestly didn't really like it. And I was like, that's lame. I kind of wish I'd stolen something that I actually would have liked. But it grew on me. And then after like a day or two, it just got lost. And I knew for a fact that it wasn't like I hadn't dropped it somewhere, because I thought I remembered putting it in my purse or something. And so honestly, I was like really irritated, because I was like, damn, like I didn't even think I liked it. And then as soon as it grew on me, then it's lost. And I was honestly super irritated. And, I've told you guys before that when I don't find something, it's because I'm assuming that the universe wants me to find something else that I either lost a while ago or, would have been a lot harder for me to find if I weren't already looking. It's like using the fact that I'm already looking as an opportunity to help me find something else that I've been looking for, that maybe I just like gave up looking for because I couldn't find it. And so for about a week, I was genuinely going out of my way to look for this everywhere. And I was like looking in the same place all the time. And then today I was like pissed off. I was like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck you're having me look for, but just help me find it. I'm so over this shit. Like, it's ridiculous. Help me find it, because I want to find my lip gloss, and that's that. And then I went to a bin that I have to grab my makeup out of it, and I see a box for something that I had been wanting to return, but I couldn't return because I lost the original box. And I was like, oh shit, this is the thing. This is the thing that you wanted me to find so that I could get my lip gloss back. And I just knew that that's what I had been looking for. Like, and that's why I hadn't found my lip gloss yet. And so I grabbed all the stuff and put it in the box, and I was so excited. And then I finally went and cleaned my car after 10,000 years. It was like so dirty. And I moved the chair, and lo and behold, there was my lip gloss. It happened like 2 hours later. Like, what? Can't make this shit up. And it happens all the time. This was like a bigger one because it took me like a week. But when I found that box, I was like, oh my God, no, this is it. This is what the universe wanted me to find. And it's crazy how many times I looked in that same place and I just didn't reach far enough into the box to be able to see that the other box that I was looking for was there. And I was just so grateful. I was just so happy and so grateful. And that's what in, spirituality we call the law of assumption. We just assume that something is going to happen. And because we assume that something is going to happen, it's just as good as done. If you're assuming that something is going to happen, then in your mind, it already is done, or else you wouldn't assume that it's going to happen. And so you're not stressed. You're not worried. You're not trying to, make things happen. You're like, oh, it's already done. It's already done. And you go about your life. And when you go about your life, assuming that something else is already done, then you are releasing attachment. You are now detached from the situation. You're allowing source to work with you. You're allowing it to bring to you whatever it is that you desire. And you're allowing yourself to receive it, because again, everything is already naturally flowing to you. It's just about your ability to receive it and not shut yourself away from it, or like not cut its access off to you because you're too attached. And, when you're so attached to something happening a specific way, you narrow, your capacity to receive something, and what you're trying to receive maybe is bigger than the small, narrow space that you're allowing things to come through. You're like squeezing the power of the universe, and you're gripping it to the point where, you can't receive it. It's kind of like a hose. Like when you bend it, the water is still flowing and the pressure is building up. But unless you unbend it, unless you release that, chokehold that you have on it, then you can't receive it. And so it's the same concept as that. And so setting that intention to get back into a state of alignment and allowing yourself to have that inner peace, that inner stillness where It doesn't matter anymore that you're in a state of imbalance on the external. You're meeting it with peace and presence, and you're allowing things to unfold because you know that you have now set your strong intention, your strong desire. You have let the universe know what it is that you desire. And now the universe is making it happen. You go, you take it day by day. And I know this can be tough because you do have to deal with the natural repercussions of your imbalance, the imbalance that you were experiencing at some point. It sucks. Like, this happens to me all the time in terms of like my skin flaring up and having acne. Every once in a while, I will go through like 3-4 months of just like clear, flawless, gorgeous, like no scars, everything just glowing skin. And I'll get lazy with my wash routine. Like, okay, like I'll wash it in like the shower, but I won't use like my little spin brush and stuff like that. And I'm just being lazy about it. And I've gotten comfortable with what I should now remember is my rented good skin. You know, I don't just naturally have like flawless skin that never breaks out. Like, that's just not me. And so I'll get lazy with that. And then I'll break out and I'll break out bad, and it'll be a lot of breakouts at once. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why is this even happening to me? But I always know, I'm like, oh, this is actually just a reminder. This is actually just data to remind me that I am not doing what I need to be doing. I have not been using my spin brush. I haven't really been focusing on like when I get small like spots or whatever, I don't take it as a sign that I need to like take care of all of my skin. I just kind of, focus on that one little spot. And then I just like, whatever the rest is just whatever. It's clear. It's perfect. So I don't need to take care of it as much. It's data. It's data to let me know where I have fallen off track. However, I pick at my skin because I have these huge breakouts and then I have scars and I'm dealing with the natural repercussions of my own actions. However, 1, I got myself here, so I know I can get myself out. 2, I've already taken the data in, okay? I just need to wash my face more and be intentional about my skincare routine. And I'm allowing myself to take it day by day because I know and I remember that it takes a little while for my skin to heal, but I trust and I know that it's going to heal so fast. Oh, it's literally going to heal so fast. Like if it takes 8 weeks for your scars to go away, I'm like, no, it's going to take 2 weeks for me because me getting this breakout was literally just to remind me that, I need to be washing my face more regularly. I need to be eating healthier. I need to be drinking way more water. This is just like a wake-up call. And so I've changed my definition. I'm now embracing the fact that I did break out because now I really, 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 really have to do these things because if I don't, then I'm going to continue to break out and I actually fucking hate that. So it's data collection. And I'm like, great. I've done what I needed to do. I'm taking action. I'm trusting that now that I'm taking positive action that is getting me back into alignment with the version of me that has clear skin is taking. The version of me that has clear skin eats healthy. She drinks a lot of water. She is like very religious about taking care of her skin and like doing her skincare routine. When I'm back into alignment in terms of my actions and my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, like, yeah, I have clear skin. My skin is clearing up literally so fast. Like, yeah, right now I can't really necessarily say that I have clear skin, but my skin is clearing up so fast. I'm getting closer and closer every single day, every single moment. I'm getting closer and closer. And again, this could be harder to deal with. Like, say it's for you, not your skin. Maybe it's weight gain and you've gained a lot of weight and you've let yourself go. And you know that it's going to take a long time for you to go to the gym and for you to actually start seeing results because, weight gain kind of takes a little bit longer for you to see results in. 1, that's a limiting belief. You can tell yourself like, no, like I lose weight literally so easily. I lose weight so easily. My thing is I lose weight so easily, but once I get closer to my goal, it's harder for me to lose weight. And that's exactly the reality that I experience. And as soon as like the times that I've realized that I'm like so close to my goal weight, like maybe a month ago, I was 3 pounds away from my goal weight. And then I started stressing about my weight and I hadn't been stressing before. I was just kind of like, yeah, like I really would like to lose weight. And I lost weight and I gained 7 pounds. And so now I'm back into my, thought process of like, I'm not going to focus on it in like this really like intense way where like things have to happen a certain way and I need to eat less and I need to exercise more and I need to do all this stuff. Because when I just set that intention originally, things were naturally taking place in my life that were allowing me to lose weight. And that was literally without trying. I still have an injury in my leg, so I haven't been going to yoga. I haven't been doing like, way more exercise, whatever. I was eating less, but not intentionally. I was getting really full. I was doing my best. I was like being consistent about eating breakfast, but I was having a smaller breakfast because I felt really full and whatever. And I lost a really, really large amount of weight in a relatively short amount of time unintentionally, while still actually quite intentionally, because that's the intention that I had set out. And so again, knowing and trusting that your higher self is going to lead you out of this place of imbalance and that you don't even have to worry about it anymore. All you have to do is not reject the sense of imbalance, because when you reject it, it persists because you're grappling with it, you're holding on to it, you're being sticky, and therefore putting all of your focus and attention on it and telling the universe, this is what I want more of. That's why I'm focusing and putting my attention on it. You're just allowing things to happen, and you're taking things day by day. Oh, that's where I was going. I totally lost my train of thought. So say your thing is weight loss and maybe you're like 40 pounds overweight. One, you can say to yourself, I lose weight super easily. I lose weight super easily, and it stays in all the right places, and it's fun for me to work out. You can have that mindset, and that is what you will experience. But no matter what, you're not going to lose like 40 pounds in a day. Even if you do, you're not going to like how you look. And it might be hard. It might be really hard to look in the mirror and be like, fuck, I'm honestly really far from my goal. I'm 40, 50, 100 pounds away from my goal. But the best thing that you can do, and this is so fucking cliche, I know, I'm so sorry, but is to take it a day at a time. You take it that one day at a time. When I'm taking care of my skin, and maybe this isn't like the same thing, but when I'm taking care of my skin, and sometimes it's bad. I had these two, I know they seem kind of small now, but they were really bad and really painful, and I picked at them a lot. And so I had these two huge zits on my face, and then I had two huge scars on my face. And I knew I just had to let it go. I couldn't think about the end goal. I could just be here now and know that the action that I was taking in the here and now was what was going to get me to my goal. There was no way to not receive that goal. Even if it takes 3 years, which it won't, even if it takes 3 years, if I take consistent action, I am going to experience that reality that my consistent action is taking me towards. And so you take it a day at a time. You stop looking at the big picture. You say, I've already set out my intention. I've already set out to lose 100 pounds. I've made that commitment. I'm taking the action, and I've decided to take it day by day. I refuse to allow myself to be discouraged by looking at the top, looking to the top of the mountain, and then, seeing, and then having to like come back and realize how far I am. I'm just taking it a day at a time. I'm taking one moment at a time. I'm taking one step at a time, knowing that if I take it step by step by step, day by day by day by day, then I will get there. My mom always says, I no longer say little by little, because it doesn't have to be a little. I'm taking it a step at a time. And it could be a really, really, really big step. It could be a tiny step, but don't say little by little. We're not taking things little by little or slowly. We're not taking things slowly and little by little. We're just doing it. We're just doing it, and we're letting the universe and our alignment dictate how long it takes us. We're not extending things longer than we need to because of the meaning that we are projecting onto the situation. And so again, when you use the law of assumption and you just assume that things are going to work out and that you're going to take it day by day, and then before you know it, you're going to get there, you're releasing resistance, you're allowing yourself to receive the spiritual guidance that will guide you to maybe take inspired action, or someone comes to you with something that helps you and whatever. You're opening yourself up to get back into alignment without having to force it, without fighting with it. Because even if you get to where you want to get, if you're like really doing it and you're grinding and you're just like that energy, when you get there, that is the energy that your manifestation is going to have, and you won't be able to enjoy it. That is the sad truth. Whatever energy and emotion that you place into your manifestation is the way you will experience it once it gets there. Yeah. And so what you really want to do is take it as like, I'm going to embrace the here and now, because, when my skin gets clear or when I lose the weight, I'm going to look so good, and get excited about it. Or just get excited about the fact that you are doing the thing. I remember when I was younger and I had braces, I thought I was so fucking cute. Like, I loved having braces, and I loved putting like several rubber bands on because I loved it. Just hurt so good. And yes, that tells you a little bit about how my brain works. However, I was like, I loved having braces. I loved it. And my smile is the thing that I get complimented on the most. Not because I have like some insane smile. My front tooth is chipped. And so, they put like a cap over it. And so it's a very specific shade. And so it's not the exact shade of my teeth. And I'm always like, it's like my front tooth. Like, you can literally see it so clearly. But no one ever sees that. They just compliment me on my beautiful, beautiful smile. And I know, it's because the energy that I had, the joy and the emotion, the positive emotion that I had when I did have braces, it like made my smile that much more beautiful when I got my braces off. Anyways, moving on. We're letting go of resistance. We're letting things happen. We're taking it a day at a time. And we are reclaiming our power, forever and always reclaiming our power. To what have you externalized your power? And why? Why have you externalized your power to feel powerless to this thing, to the point where you get to a point of so much imbalance that you are now having to get back into alignment? Why? What happened? Are you not acting on your purpose? Is there something else that this is symbolic of, that you're not taking care of in the spiritual realm, and so it's showing up in your manifested reality in order to absolutely get your attention? Like, what's going on? Like, how did you get here? And I don't mean just like, how did you get here in your external reality? If you gained a lot of weight, we know how you got there for the most part. I'm saying, where did you externalize your power internally? In what places are you not feeling comforted and safe or satiated, and so you turn to binge eating instead? Like, explore that, because everything in your external reality is simply symptomatic of something going on in your internal world. So you do that work. You do the subconscious work, and you break the limiting beliefs, because it's not enough to just, lose all the weight. You're going to gain it back if you don't get to the root of why it is that you're overeating and being unwilling to exercise and et cetera, et cetera. Or if you don't go back to eating, you'll start indulging in something else that is also very unhealthy. And that also impacts the way you feel and the way your body can, operate. So you have to do that inner work, that self-reflection, to figure out, where did I externalize my power? And one, reclaim your power, but embrace the side of you in which your power was lost. Embrace the aspect, embrace who you are capable of becoming when you are in a state of imbalance. Don't reject it. That is part of your shadow. And again, we're getting rid of this idea that there is good and bad. We're getting rid of that idea that they are separate rather than part of the whole. And so embrace your shadow, and embrace that, yes, that version of you is overindulgent. That version of you can be lazy. That version of you can just be irresponsible. Embrace that is an aspect of you. Embrace your darkness and embrace your light. Embrace everything that makes you, that makes you whole. There's no need to reject that, because it doesn't define you. It's okay if sometimes you are experiencing being lazy. That doesn't mean you are laziness. You are a divine being. You are divinity in disguise. Love that term. You're just experiencing an aspect of the range of your humanity. The lowest, darkest point of view, and then the highest, the highest vibrational, bright light, whatever version of you. It's all you. It's all you, and one allows you to experience the other and recognize the other and embrace the other. And so it's important to embrace both as a side of you, so that you're not constantly fighting against your shadow, and when fighting against your shadow, creating more of it because it's what you're focused on and you're fighting against it. Embrace it. Yeah, that's how you can be sometimes. But you are such a powerful creator that you can always get yourself out. You got yourself in there, you can get yourself out. And even if you didn't get yourself in there, you can get yourself out. You are the conscious creator of your reality. And so yes, changing your definition of imbalance, allowing yourself to embrace it as part of the whole, using it as an opportunity to gather data, using it as a reminder to do what you need to do in order to get yourself back into alignment. Remembering that it's not balance that we're seeking alignment. So that even when things are externally imbalanced, we can meet it with that sense of peace and that sense of knowing that we can create for ourselves a reality, whatever reality we want, simply by expressing to the universe, hey, this is what I want to be experiencing now. This is the alignment that I want to get back into. Taking the inspired action and using the law of assumption to just know that every step that you are taking is getting you closer and closer. Taking it day by day, not looking at how far you are from your goal, but just being like, yeah, consistent action in this direction is going to get me to my goal no matter what. And not even just that, it's going to happen super quickly and effortlessly. Not punishing yourself for going through it, just being like, okay, yeah, let me gather the data that I need to gather from this. And then embracing it. Embracing who you are in your state of imbalance, figuring out what subconscious limiting beliefs got you to that place so that you won't, keep having to go back, and keep experiencing uncomfortable things in your external reality because you haven't gotten to the root of it. But once you do get to the root of it, embracing like, yeah, that was a side of me. Yeah, that's part of my story. I'm doing something different now. I'm no longer that version of me. However, I once was, and therefore it is a part of me. And I embrace it. And I allow myself to know and accept and appreciate that the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, the dark, the light, the good, the bad, the depression, the expansion, that all of it is a beautiful part of the cycle of life. We love that. I love that for you. Your higher self loves that for you. Now it's time for you to start loving that and accepting that and embracing that for you as well. Anyways, this episode has gotten quite long. This is actually my third time trying to record this. And so I'm glad that we have made it to the end of this episode. But the next episode is going to be integrating intentional imbalance. How to use it. Because this episode was all about unintentional imbalance. You let things go. You let things go, and now you're dealing with the natural repercussions of your actions. But in the next episode, we're going to talk about using it to your advantage, because everything that you perceive as negative is only that way because you have placed and given it that definition. In this episode, we changed our definition, and in the next episode, we are going to expand on that definition so that we can use it to our benefit. Love that for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much. I always hope that you guys learn so much from this. I love creating these episodes for you guys. Like love. And I also learned so much during them. But yes, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you really, really loved it and you think it would be beneficial to somebody else, please go ahead and share it. I thank you in advance. Thank you for helping all of my dreams come true, because I'm in the same boat. Sometimes I'm in a state of imbalance and I'm not creating enough, and I'm having to figure out, what limiting beliefs are holding me back. And then I'm, expressing to source like, hey, I want to get back into alignment. Hey, I want to, feel energized again when I'm recording. Hey, I want to be able to record more than one episode per day again. But right now I'm in a space where I had to go back. I had to reel it back in. My nervous system was freaking the fuck out. So I had to reel it back in. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to recording an episode a day. That was my new norm. I can still do that. Maybe I can't record 2 or 3 in a day. Maybe I can. Ooh, question mark. I'm feeling a little inspired today. However, being okay with that. Being okay with the fact that, yeah, I kind of fell off of my recording schedule, and still telling myself somehow, some way, I'm still going to reach my goal. Everything is fine. Wherever I am now, the inspired action that I take now is going to add up and build up. And every small step that I'm taking, every single step that I'm taking every single day, if I continue that on that path, I will achieve it. I will receive my manifestation. I will be able to perceive my manifestation. And so, yeah, I'm working on it just as much as you are. I feel so privileged to be able to be a channel and a conduit for this information to reach you guys. But this information is just as much for me as it is for you. And so, yeah. But anyways, that is truly the end of this episode today. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I will see you in my next episode. Love you. Bye.